Hi, welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Minutia. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany and it's book haul time. So I have a few different kind of hauls that I'm doing today. So first of all, I have books that I got for my birthday that I want to share with you, but also after my summer book bingo, because I blacked out that bingo board, I gave myself like money to spend for however many bingos that I got. So I have all of those books to share with you as well, in addition to some thrifted books. So let's dive in. I think I'm gonna start with birthday books. That sounds good. So the first book that I got for my birthday, it's actually two books, and they're from a lovely subscriber friend, Dia. She got me God's Smuggler. This is a book that I've wanted to read for a super long time, and I don't think it was even on my wish list. So I'm super pumped that she got this for me. And then also she got me Fahrenheit 451, which is another book that I have wanted to read for a really long time. So I am really excited to read both of these books. My older sister bought me The Book of Lost Friends by Lisa Wingate. I really don't know anything about this book at all. My older sister texted me and my mom on a group chat and was like, hey, you guys need to read this book, like right now. I just finished it and it's so good. I was like, I can't read it right now. I don't have it. She's like, no problem. And she sent it to me for my birthday. So it comes with some really high praise from my sister. So I'm looking forward to reading this one, hopefully in the near future. Then my friend Keisha over at A Book Like You, we are birthday twins. We have the same birthday. So she sent me this book, Between Shades of Grey. Thank you so much, Keisha. This is like one of my favorite Ruta Sepetys. I love this book so much. So I'm really excited to own it. And then I had another subscriber, Sweet Penny, send me Letters to a Diminished Church by Dorothy Sayers, which is really fun because Victoria from A Musical Bookworm and Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space are hosting a readathon of this book for Nonfiction November. And so I had it on my Amazon wish list and I was like, oh, I hope someone will buy it for me because I really want this book. I really want to be part of the readathon. And then Penny sent it to me and she's planning on being in the readathon too. And I feel like, gosh, I don't even know how many books I have read with Penny the last couple of months. So it's so fun that we're reading more books together. So thank you so much, Penny. This is just an awesome gift. And then the last gift I have in here is actually from my husband and my daughter, and they bought me The Hunchback of Notre by Victor Hugo. And it's a funny story. This is like a mass market paperback, which is fine. But my husband was like, they had like this beautiful edition there and I wanted to buy it for you, but I couldn't find anything inside that said whether or not it was abridged. And I was like, I love you. I love you that you made sure that you got me an unabridged copy after how much I talked about Les Mis and reading that unabridged copy. I don't know how soon I'm going to start this. I doubt I will start it this year, but I am excited to own it. I really did enjoy Les Mis and I love Victor Hugo's writing style and how he tells a story. So be interested in reading this. The only exposure I have to The Hunchback of Notre Dame is the Disney movie, which I'm sure is not even close because Victor Hugo is so tragic and Disney is so not. I don't trust Disney's ending after I read the original Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen. I was like, yeah, that's very different. The ending is totally different. So I'm interested to read this hopefully soon-ish, maybe towards the beginning of next year. It's not nearly as long as Les Mis, so shouldn't be as much of a time commitment. I think, yeah, we're gonna go with the books that I bought with my book bingo money. I think I had these organized correctly. We'll see. So I have some books that I bought from Thrift Books and also Second Sale, which is quickly becoming my favorite online bookseller. A lot of their books are like $3.88 regardless what condition it's in. So like the excellent books will be like usually the same price as the ones in the acceptable category. So a lot of the books are cheaper than thrift books. So I always check second sale first. I'll put links down below for all these retailers so you can find them. Second Sale does not have any sort of affiliate program that I am aware of. Thrift Books does. So if you don't have a Thrift Books account and you sign up under my link that I'm going to have in the description, then I think it's once you spend it's like $25 or $30, they automatically will give you like a free book. Then I get one too. So that's pretty cool. I can't remember which one of these books are from which, so we're just gonna go through the stack. So actually, technically this is for my husband. This is The Last Stand by Nathaniel Philbrick. So this is about like, you know, Custer and Sitting Bull in the Battle of Little Bighorn. My husband really loves historical books. I would like to read more. That is probably gonna be a reading goal for 2022. So, but yeah, he likes Nathaniel Philbrick. He's reading his book, The Mayflower, right now. So I went ahead and picked this up for him. Then I also got 2 Mary Elizabeth Braddon books, which I have never read any of her stuff before, but I am reading one of her books for Victober. I already shared this book in that TBR, and that is Lady Audley's Secrets. But then I also got Aurora Floyd. So I got 2 of these, so I really hope I like her writing style because I bought 2. This was also in my Victober TBR video, The Law and the Lady by Wilkie Collins. I picked this up too. I love Wilkie Collins so much. Women in White is one of my favorite books of all time. I liked The Moonstone too, but Women in White is better. So I'm hopeful that this one will be good as well. And then I think this is the last one. I feel like some of my books have kind of gotten out of order. So we'll see. But anyways, I got Peter Nimble and His Fantastic Eyes by Jonathan Auxier. I love Jonathan Auxier so much. Sweep is my favorite of his, very closely followed by the sequel to this book, which I got from Book Outlet. But they had a really excellent condition of this at second sale that was way cheaper than Book Outlet's price, so I bought this one there. Now we'll move on to the Book Outlet books. Book Outlet is another one of those great online retailers that they basically sell overstock or returned books from retailers and get them at very deeply discounted prices, and most of the time they're in like pristine brand new condition. I'll have a link for that retailer down below too, and if you don't have an account with them and you sign up through my link, you get $10. I think it's $10. I think you get $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more, and then I also get $10 off my next purchase. So the first book I got from there is Sophie Quire and the Last Story Guard, which is the sequel to Peter Nimble and His Fantastic Eyes. I like this one so much better. Sophie Quire is a book for book lovers. It's so good. I would recommend reading Peter Nimble first though, because Peter is in this book. So I think that the context helps, but Sophie Quire, in my personal opinion, is a far superior story. I also got Watership Down, which I have never read and have wanted to for a long time. So I was excited to find this one, even though I'm pretty sure it's like one of those heartbreaking stories. But, you know, I like books that make me cry. It's fine. This is a book that was recommended to me by one of my Instagram homeschool mom friends, and that's The Far Pavilions by MMK. Pretty sure this is kind of like a family saga type thing. Which normally is not my genre, but that is mostly because I've just never tried it. So we have very similar tastes in a lot of books, so I was willing to give this one a shot. I also got this Silver Bowl by Diane Stanley. I was trying to get like a couple more like cheap books to get free shipping, so I picked this one up. I don't really know anything about it, but I like Diane Stanley. We have quite a few biographies that she has written that we use for our homeschool, and they are just written in a really like engaging and wonderful way. So I went ahead and picked this one up. I think it was like less than $2. So went for that one. I also got this middle grade book, Breaking Stalin's Nose. I have heard so many wonderful things about this book. And it is a Newbery honor as well. Obviously it takes place during the Stalinist regime in Russia, which is a very fascinating time period to me. And I have recently read several books that take place during that time period. So Would love to read this one. I've had a bunch of people tell me that like this is one of their favorite books that take place during that time period. And then the last book from my book outlet haul is Daddy Longlegs by Jean Webster. It's another book that I really don't know anything about, but it's a classic, and so that was a huge reason why I picked it up. And I actually know quite a few people who really like this book, so I'm gonna give it a try. It's another one that was like less than $2, and I thought it was like the cutest edition ever. Okay, now we'll dive into some other books. I do have thrifted books, but let me go with some other ones first. So do you remember last month when I did a book haul and I won a giveaway and was like, I never win giveaways? I won another one. I won 2 giveaways 2 months in a row. I'm like thrilled with that. I wonder if I can keep this going. That would be really cool. Anyway, Kaylee over at Loomis Libro was doing a giveaway with like a publisher for some books written by Amy Timberlake, and the illustrations are by John Klassen. So the first book is Skunk and Badger, and then the sequel is Egg Marks the Spot, and this just came out. So like with the release of this book, they did a giveaway for both books, and I won, and I'm so excited because I think that Claire will really like these, but I think I will too. They look super cute. They totally give me like The Wind in the Willows and like Frog and Toad vibes, and I love John Klassen's illustrations. Let me see if I can find, I mean obviously you saw him on the cover, but I'll see if I can find another cute illustration. Here's one. So they are definitely like younger chapter books. I would say younger than middle grade, but that won't stop me from enjoying them, and I'm sure that won't stop Claire from enjoying them either. This is another book that I talked about in my TBR video, so you've seen it if you've watched that video, but I also purchased Flameful, so that way I could continue reading this series with Christy and Leslie. And then I had a homeschool mom friend that I was talking about how much I liked George MacDonald on Instagram, and she messaged me and told me, hey, I have The Lost Princess. Have you read that one? And I was like, no, I haven't. She's like, I'll mail it to you. And she like lives all the way in Texas, and yet she was so sweet and sent this book to me. So I was really excited about that. So if you're watching, thank you so much, Claire. You're the best. Now I'm going to get into my thrifted books. I have some books that I got from library book sale because I went back and I got more. If you watched my book haul in last month, I had a whole bunch of books that I got for 10 cents, and then I went back and got some more. So, so here's what I got. These were 10 cents each. The first one that I got is One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich by, I'm not even gonna say his last name, Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Just lied, I guess I am gonna try to say his last name. Anyways, he wrote The Gulag Archipelago, which Christy Lewis is reading right now, and Carrie from Very Literary Carrie is reading it also. And I really want to read it, but I'm really intimidated by it because it's super, super long. Each volume, I think it's like 800 pages or something like that. So I still do want to read it at some point. But when I saw this book there by the same author, this is, I mean, he's basically writing about the Gulag and communist Russia in general. This is like specifically detailing a day in the Gulag. So very interested in reading this one, and when it was only 10 cents, I'm like, yeah, I'm picking that up. I also found like this brand new copy of The Last of the Mohicans by James Fenimore Cooper. Have never read this one before. Have never read any James Fenimore Cooper, but totally went for it. Next up, I got this book. I don't know. This one is an ex-library book, and so that's part of the reason why I picked it up, because I'm like, well, if the library's getting rid of this, I'm never gonna have a chance to read this from my library. It's In the Region of the Summer Stars by Stephen Lawhead. I feel like I've heard several people talk about Stephen Lawhead. I know Holly from Lovely Day at Holly really likes Stephen Lawhead, and I feel like maybe Becca from Hicks Picks Books has mentioned him as well, but I'm not sure. I could be making that up, so if I'm wrong, Becca, I'm sorry. But I know Holly likes him. I don't know if she's mentioned this series in particular. I can't remember what. Irlandia. This is book 1 of the series. So I figured for 10 cents, it's kind of like no harm. And the fact that the library was getting rid of it, I was kind of like, I might not have another good opportunity to try to get this book. So I picked it up, and we'll see what happens, or when I even end up getting to it. Next, I have more Russian books. Well, one Russian book, Fathers and Sons by Ivan Turgenev. I have heard good things about this book. I don't know anything about it, but it's a Russian book. I just say yes, and when it's 10 cents, I say like double yes. I don't even have to think about it. But this book has been on my Amazon wish list for a while, so I was super excited to find it for only 10 cents. The next book that I found is Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. My friend Jessica, who has a Bookstagram account, I think it's like Admirer of Words and Coffee, I think is her Instagram account. I'll link it down below. She has a great like Bookstagram account. I love it. She loved this book and raved about it, and we like quite a few of the same books, so I am really interested in giving this one a shot. This next book I've never even heard of, and it's The Belly of Paris by Emile Zola. I don't know. It's a modern classic. It's like one of those library of modern classics. So that's why when I saw the spine, I pulled it out, and I guess it's like a multi-generational saga about people in Paris. I don't know. I think it's like around the time of like the French Revolution or the rebellion in Paris or something like that. And having just come off of reading Les Mis, it seemed very interesting to me. And again, like this was 10 cents. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take a chance on that one. This one's actually for my husband. George Washington's Generals. So again, 10 cents. I also found a Stephen Ambrose book, which I have Undaunted Courage by him. And this one's called This Vast Land. This is geared more towards kids, but I plan on giving it a look through too, but it's also about like the Lewis and Clark expedition. Then last from the library, I'm super excited. I found this book, Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. I was really excited when I saw like this book come out. I think it was in like May or something, because it's all about like the myth of like the Minotaur and like the labyrinth and stuff. And so I thought it sounded really, really interesting. And this is like a really nice like book of the month copy that I guess was donated to the library, but it was like 10 cents. And so I picked it up and I love the cover of it. I think it's great. And I'm looking forward to reading it hopefully sometime soon. This is one that I'm like kind of in the mood for right now. So hopefully I will be able to get to it pretty soon. All these other books are from a thrift store that charges you 50 cents per bag, like Walmart bag full of books. So I have a really random assortment of books here because I'm like, well, I can totally take a chance on books when basically I'm paying like less than 10 cents a book. I don't even know how much it was. I didn't calculate it. So here's what I got. First of all, I found this, We the People. So this is Documents and Writings of the Founding Father. It's in the sleeve, and it's a super nice hardcover ribbon bookmark book that has like common sense, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, like all that kind of stuff. And I know I paid like less than 10 cents for this. Like, I'm like, I will totally use this for school with Claire. So I was really excited about that one. I also got this book that my daughter is currently reading. This was kind of like a very nostalgic thing for me to find. It's called Snickers from the Front Pews. And this is like a confession of two pastor's kids. We had this book when I was a kid growing up. I grew up as a pastor's kid and now I'm a pastor's wife. And I remember this book being so funny, and I haven't even had a chance to look through it yet. Claire has been really enjoying reading it though and thinks it's hilarious. So I am looking forward to reading it again too. Next, I got The Remains of the Day. I don't really know much about what this is about, but I know Ishiguro is like really good and beloved, I think Japanese writer, but I'm pretty sure it's like reflections from like a butler. So I've been interested in reading this one. It's been on like my Goodreads TBR for a long time. So pick that one up. I also found a copy of The Great Divorce. This is just like a little old like paperback of it, but the only copy we have of The Great Divorce is in like a bind up of like all of C.S. Lewis's like most popular books. So it's kind of nice to have it like on its own. I also found this book, Hitler Youth, Growing Up in Hitler's Shadow. I just thought it was kind of intriguing, so pick that one up. Then I found this book. I don't know if this is YA or if this is middle grade. I think it might be middle grade. It's the first book in a quartet, The Stairs Up the Chimney, and it's the Magician's House Quartet. On the side of it says YA, So I don't know. It kind of looks middle grade-y to me though. I don't know, magic, fantasy, looked really fun. So pick that one up. I also found, this is the worst cover in the entire world. Last year I read the Meet the Austins. There we go. I was trying to remember what it was called, by Madeline L'Engle. I loved it so much. Oh my gosh, it was so sweet, so wholesome, adored it. Found book 2 at this thrift store. And it's colored on too, but it's very, very lovely. I mean, you look at that and you're like, who wouldn't want to read this book? Now, I love the first book though, so I picked it up, even though it does not match my edition, because mine is like a modern, super cute, like minimalist looking edition. So this one's pretty bad. But yeah, I still really always wanted to read the next book in the series. And wouldn't you know it, our library does not have any more of those books in that series. So I picked this one up. I also picked up Cry, the Beloved Country. I have no idea what this is about, actually. I recognize the title, and also it's a book that is like recommended reading for my daughter in high school with the homeschooling curriculum that we use. So I partly picked it up for that, but I might read it at some point too. And then I also got a Babysitter's Club book somewhere, but my daughter like totally commandeered that and took it. It's in her room somewhere. I'm not gonna try to find it. That's too much work. Anyways, so that was quite a few books in general, but I just meant from that thrift store. Like I got at least 10 books from that thrift store and it was 50 cents. So it was like 5 cents a book. It was pretty awesome. I need to go back there again sometime. The prices were not well marked at all though, so I had no idea how much their books were. I'd been there before and some of them were like kind of a little bit more beat up paperbacks or books I wasn't sure about, so I never picked them up because I didn't know that it was 50 cents a bag. Like there's nothing documented in the book section. Like all the prices are documented like at the cash register, which is not super helpful. So anyways, that's my book haul, just a couple of books. I think my book spending / buying in general is going to take a dip for a while. I hope. It really probably needs to. But there was a lot of books that I bought here that were for my book bingo, and then also just books that I got for my birthday. So thank you so much for everyone who sent me books for my birthday. It was so very kind of you. Like you totally did not have to do that, and it just like made me feel really special. So I really appreciate that. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. What are some books that you have hauled recently that you were just like super pumped about? Because it's awesome when you find a good deal, but even if it's just like a book that you've wanted for a while, even if you paid full price, like it's so exciting and satisfying when you find a book or get a book that you have waited a while to get. So I'd love to hear what books you have bought recently that you are the most excited about reading. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and also subscribe so you can continue to see more bookish content from me. And I will see you again next time.